For my disclosure, I received payments for lectures from these organizations, including companies of supplements, HMOs, a hospital, and several drug companies. Did you know that the DOH announced that the provision of COVID-19 benefits to healthcare workers will continue in 2022 in recognition of their untiring efforts to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic? Did you know that doctors are not spared from this recession because they are in fact also facing financial and emotional burdens in this pandemic? Did you know that the government physicians are required to retire at age 65? Just imagine you can make your life easier by being financially stable. Well, guys, you don't need to imagine because this evening I will share with you some tips on how to step up your financial recovery. A little background about myself. Aside from being a surgeon, I'm also a business and personality coach. I give lectures to hospitals, special groups, and organizations not only in the Philippines but also abroad. Although we will be talking about money today, I just want to divulge that I'm not fond of numbers, being also a quitter in the College of Engineering so many years ago. What I'm going to impart to you guys are just practical tips which I have learned throughout my career as a doctor and as a businessman. You know, I love reading books and attending conferences and conventions on personal growth. Just sit back and relax. This was me back in 2013. Back then, I'm in what I can describe as financial depression. I have maximized my 2 credit cards because of some misjudgments in my spendings. These banks were already calling me because I had a hard time paying my debts. My source of income solely came from my surgical career. I just finished my MBA studies and I was the president of the Philippine Society of Oncology that year. So most of my activities is what my wife used to call non-income generating activities. However, in 2022, I have a more stable business aside from being the training officer of surgery in one hospital, chairman of surgery of one medical school, and insurance doctor of an international company. I receive regular salaries and need not too dependent with my surgical operations, I mean. We doctors are not immune to environmental and personal disasters. We are only human. Probably some of our colleagues here may have been a victim of environmental disasters like typhoons, earthquakes, and life-shaking health issues. All of this may require us to spend extra But the big question, are we prepared? You might have seen some ads in social media about doctors' loans. Did the thought of borrowing from people or companies come to your mind? Some of you have not experienced the financial crisis, but I tell you that it is unforgettable. It may decrease your self-worth and self-confidence. Your ego may also go down to the drain. These are some helpful tips that I want to present to you. Number one is know your goals. What is your financial goal in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years? How much money do you want on those specified times? On what year do you want to own real estate properties or other forms of investment? Is the picture clear on what kind of retirement do you want to have? In all of these questions, one thing shines out: your financial goal. What is very good in goal setting is that you are focused on what you are doing. And even though there would be some disturbances during the journey, you remain steadfast and continue your travel towards very important goal. I conduct workshops in vision board making. If you are not aware, owning a vision board is one way of helping you in prioritizing activities related to your goals. Many successful people made their own vision boards. Friends, this is my vision board, which I made some years ago, and I have achieved some of the goals I included there. I also teach my students to make a dream book or a dream list. For the dream list, it should be put in places where you can see it always. They are like reminders for you to attain your goals. Since we are talking about financial recovery, probably we could say here your financial goals. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Goals expand your skill set, increase your knowledge, push your comfort zone, and boost your career. Now, number two in the list is network with friends. This is the slide for number two. I just want to remind everyone of a very important word, and this is reciprocity. I would say that this is very important factor in networking. It is defined as obligation to give when you receive. It also means that if you are very helpful and kind to someone, you may expect that they will reciprocate by being helpful and kind also to you. The secret here is you do first the good deeds to them. Networking is the reason for patient referrals, job referrals, and mentoring activities. Get a mentor who will motivate you, give you advices, lead you to success, and give you direction among others. Being the mentee, you are expected to commit less mistake, increase your money streams, and be more successful in your career or endeavors. I hope you remember these pictures. The training officer position was a referral by my business student. The chairman position was a referral by my former resident. And the health insurance doctor position was a referral by my business partner. I got those jobs because of networking with people. Let's go now to number 3. Develop your strengths. We have inherent strengths and weaknesses. I highly recommend that you develop your strengths rather than your weaknesses. 3 things you need to know. A strength is an activity that makes you feel strong. You will grow the most in your areas of strength. And your company or organization wants you to use your strengths and love your work. There are so many books on how to determine and develop your strengths. You can also go online to take a test. Well, this is just an example. I took the high 5 test. And these are the 5 different strengths that came out. Probably later or sometime soon, you can also get a similar test. There is also what we call a side hustle. For Filipinos, we call it sideline. Benefits of sharing or starting a side hustle: make extra money, work around your job schedule, and be your own boss, work as you want. You can also work around your, as I have said, you can work around your job schedule. Be your own boss. Millions of Americans have a side business to boost their incomes and pursue their passions. I highly recommend this side hustle book by Chris. I have read that book some months ago and very interesting book. You may also want to develop your strengths sometime soon. You love to talk, you can be a paid speaker. You are very good in planning and critical thinking. You can be an entrepreneur. If you love photography, you may want to own a studio. Some of you are people-oriented. You can be good in personal coaching or networking business. What if you are very good in leading people? You can be good in administrative positions in the hospitals or other companies. You are very good in marketing ideas. You can be hired as a consultant of different groups. Number 4, you need to distinguish your wants versus needs. It should be clear in your mind what to choose. A need is an item you need to survive, like water and food. A want is something that's nice to have, but you can live without it, like a bike or a video game. I give you a few seconds to go over this slide so you will know what your wants or your needs are. Okay? In this time of pandemic, we could realize that our needs are food, housing, medicine, hygiene, utilities, and education. Our wants may include movies, vacations, malls, restaurants, shopping, and parties. Today is a good time to distinguish between our needs and wants and make a lifelong learning to live a better financial life. These are some of my personal experiences. My want is a very expensive Rolex watch, but my need is just a simple timepiece to know the time. That is why I buy inexpensive watches. About 2 years ago, I wanted to buy a Mazda SUV, but my need was just a simple car to bring me decently to my destination. So I bought a simple Honda car, and since we buy cash, my cash on that time could not afford the SUV. At the same time, my wife wanted a Toyota pickup, but that was 2 years ago. She followed her need and just bought a simple Mazda car instead. What is the lesson here? If you follow your wants, most of the time, it could put a strain to your budget. Now we go to number 5. Establish a business. There is a very popular book written by Robert Kiyosaki entitled Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book introduced us to the concept of cash flow quadrant. There's also a very popular book in the market, by the way, called Why Doctors Don't Get Rich. It is based on the book of Robert Kiyosaki. These are the 4 quadrants. E is for employment. You have a job and you trade your time with money. Now, we go to S. S is for self-employed. We doctors are self-employed. We also trade our time with money. If you are in the E and S quadrants, you are designed not to be wealthy. Why? Because employees and self-employed people are activity-based professions. The moment you stop working, you stop your cash flow. Money is in business and investments. People and money are working for you. By the way, um, By the way, doctors can be good in networking, business, and franchise ownership. The good thing about this too is that there is already a system, less chances of committing errors and failures. You just need to follow the tested rules and regulations as long as the company is ethical and legal. I think you should try them. Now, establishing a startup company is very hard, especially if you do not have a mentor. These are the reasons why small businesses fail. Experience cash flow problems and no market need for your products or services. Now, let's go to number 6, invest. If you have enough money, you can invest in condominiums, farmlands, or another house and lot. Of course, when you buy these things, you are clear about the earning potentials of these properties. I have a very close friend. He is a surgeon. He owns a condo in Bonifacio Global City, several condominiums in Ermita, and a resort in Cavite. It really pays a lot if you know how to handle your money very well. However, sometimes you need to consult a financial planner. You can try the stock market if you are well educated on how to play with the stocks. However, friends, don't forget that investment in education is also quite important. You may want to enroll in an MBA or PhD programs. How about trying culinary education? But please remember that you need motivation in order to succeed in these endeavors. I had two MBA classmates who became medical center chiefs of hospitals after the MBA program. Lastly, number 7 is you develop your emotional intelligence. I give lectures on emotional intelligence development. Majority of the books here touch on personality and EI development. Emotional intelligence is defined as the capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, and for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationships. I'd just like to emphasize again the importance of emotional intelligence in our personal and financial growth. Tackling EI will cost us several hours of teaching. To summarize, the concept of EI is all about self-awareness, meaning we know our personality and our strengths and weaknesses. Self-management implies self-discipline. Social awareness simply means empathy towards other people, and relationship management is how we manage stress-free socialization with one another. The upper quadrants are about self-management, while the lower quadrants is about your interaction with people. There are many available books on emotional intelligence. If you can get hold of the Personality Plus book by Florence Litauer, you will have a better chance of improving your personality. It is available in bookstores and also online. People who possess high emotional intelligence are the people who truly succeed in work, as well as play, building flourishing careers, and lasting, meaningful relationships. Money makes us happy, correct? Valid question. Money makes us happy. This is the antithesis. A Harvard study was conducted several years ago. The secret to happiness. Here's some advice from the longest running study on happiness. So welcome guys to the Harvard study of adult development. Meaning of life confirmed. Key to happiness found after 75-year study. Okay guys, please, or colleagues, please take note of the findings of the study. The study showed that quality of relationships is the #1 factor in determining whether you are happy in life. Did you realize that? The biggest difference between money and time is that we always know how much money we have, but we never know how much time we have left. Therefore, appreciate every moment of your life. 4 rules in life. Work while they sleep. Learn while they party. Save while they spend. Live like they dream. Before I end my lecture, I encourage everyone to send me a message in Facebook if you want more clarifications. And that is Roel Tolentino, Search Onco Business Coach. And please subscribe also to my YouTube channel, Tolentino Roel. I'm a vlogger also. In summary, #1, know your goals. #2, network with friends. #3, develop your strengths. #4, distinguish wants versus needs. #5, establish a business. #6 is invest. #7, develop emotional intelligence. These are the 7 tips I want to share with you, colleagues, to my dear friends, to our dear doctors. Deep in my heart, that if you follow these simple steps, you will gain financial recovery. I believe in you. With that, have a great day and God bless us all. Mabuhay.